Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thanks again for joining me here. Happy Saturday to you folks. I am super stoked for my community. We finally took profit on this funny trade that we took a few days ago on BSV, 29% in 8 days. So congrats on that, folks. Happy that worked out well. Again, Cardano 46%, ICP 49, and Near Protocol 52. Again, good little profits there from some nice little 5x leverage trades, folks. In fact, BSV was 4x leverage because we wanted to play it safe and make sure we didn't get liquidated there. So again, either way, just kind of throwing it out there. Awesome stuff. Good way to start the weekend. Now, what I want to talk about here today is liquidation levels to start, of course, but more importantly, some of those key fib levels that we discussed yesterday. So to recap, this hasn't changed too much. There's been some more shorts adding to the market. In fact, this is changing a little. We can see more liquidation levels about 68.5, 68.7. So be very careful taking a short position with Bitcoin. I know it seems very appropriate to short, but shorting on the weekends or even taking a long on the weekend isn't really ideal with Bitcoin right now, just based on the way that's been, more volatile on the weekends, but less volume. Because again, I don't trust low volume, okay? So you shouldn't either. It's not really ideal, and we'll see here soon with the volume is pretty low here. Either way you look at it, liquidation to the upside implies the price could continue further up. We do have some new liquidation levels right around 64,000. Those are some longs at about 64.5, which is where we took along with our community there, okay? Or tried to get in, didn't get it filled officially. We missed it by $100, but either way, still a profitable trade no matter how you look at it. Also, what's profitable for me is if you were to hit the like button down below. Deeply appreciate that. Thank you so much for just doing your part as a viewer too. So much appreciate that. So over the last 3 years of doing this full time, I can tell you this has been a fun job, and it's extra special to be able to hear from you. So comment below if you get a chance. Love to hear your thoughts on Bitcoin and just in general interact with you. You want to become, again, better trader, CryptoCache.tech is a site. Link down below as well. We've got some new traders over there, and just want to say welcome aboard. Happy to have you along. Okay, so let's talk about this here. Again, we talked about the volume profile changing and kind of shifting itself, right? 66,000 is a rough estimate, is that new base. So not saying that's the new bottom, but it very well should be based on volume. Now, again, we have a lot of volume above the price action too, right about 67,000. That's that previous point of control. It's kind of wavering, so you can pretty much presume that 66 to 67,000 is that range that we might be stuck within for a little while. Or if we lose that range, come back down, when we retest it, we're going to have some, we're going to need more volume to flow through that, okay? Again, point of control is just an area that everyone is relatively interested in, and that provides the price action with stability, whether, depending on what side it's on. In other words, if it's above that, which we are right now, sort of, we can presume that's a support, okay? Again, presume, never assume, and crypto. Even though they're the same thing, right? Okay, so stochastic RSI is starting to swing down. What's letting us know we're losing a bit of momentum here. We can see RSI in a good place there. I like it when it's close to 60, just kind of hanging out in that comfort zone. Because again, it's been a while since we've been above that level, so it's nice. And again, MACD's converging. So really, for the most part, we have some really positive stuff here. The biggest, most positive thing here, and I covered this on my shorts. If you're curious, watch this here. I explained why Bitcoin, I feel, will surge here soon. Kind of already has. We swept 67,000 since we talked about that, or since I uploaded that. But what I referenced here is the 50-day simple moving average. That's really a big trend setter for the most part. When you're above that, you know that you're in pretty decent shape to take longs. When you're below it, I'm not saying you're in decent shape to take shorts. It's just you're more risky taking a long below that level. Again, not to say there's no profit to be taken here. We took plenty of profit in the range. But in general, the rule of thumb is when you're above it, it's good. When you're below it, it's not bad. It's just not bullish. Okay? We've broken bullish, for lack of better terms, is the easiest way to describe it. Again, when I say bullish too, try not to misinterpret. People see moons and stars and all that crap. Bullish just simply implies that you're going to have more success going up than down. Really, that's all there is to it. So you don't just blindly jump into a long position, but generally speaking, you're going to have more success if you take a long versus a short. Now, that does change things, of course. Obviously, the momentum can shift and the price action can pull back at any time. We can see the MACD is diverging here. That's generally unfavorable. But again, this is a weekend. I'm not super convinced that we're going to be, seeing a lot of price action, so to speak. However, if we do take a look here at RSI, we're still staying under 70, which is kind of good in a way. We want the RSI to slowly taper off and the price to stay where it's at. That'd be a bullish convergence and effectively showing us that the price action is more likely to swing up than down or continue higher. Okay? Again, we're more likely to break to the upside the more often we retest these upper ranges, which again, 67,400 is that highest point we've seen here so far in this little run. Either way, that being said, too, the price going sideways and stochastic swinging down is actually a very good sign, because again, when the stochastic comes all the way down here and starts to converge, we're starting to see that momentum shift. Last time we saw that, really, really strong. And again, I've touched on this here previously in other videos, and also some shorts too, why Bitcoin's going to continue to surge. A lot of that is based on stochastic RSI on the monthly. Sorry, correction, it's the weekly stochastic RSI. I'm just going to jump in here really quick and let you know we are swinging up for stochastic here on the RSI on the weekly. Every time we've done so before, it's averaged out to be like a 70-80% return. Okay, so again, if you take a look at every one of these swings, pretty significant. 77%, there's 27, 84%. This most recent one, which I deleted just because it gets in the way of the charts, is close to 90% swing, okay, for the last stochastic. Again, there's no guarantees in that, but generally speaking, that's a very favorable sign. All right, so again, just kind of put that in the back of your mind. We've broken bullish. We've got some really nice momentous potential indications. And it's not to say Bitcoin couldn't perform any shenanigans. It's just every time the price comes, gets closer to 60,000, we get a lot more buying pressure. And volume is something you can trust, and volume ties into a lot of those other things I discussed here. Hourly time frame, quickly to note here, simple moving averages. We're not going to worry too much about these because, again, we're kind of above most of them. But the general consensus here is that the lagging span just started intersecting with the price action, which isn't necessarily a bad sign. It just implies if you're in profit, you may want to consider taking or securing some profit. It's not to say the price couldn't still continue up. We got good momentum. We have good, we can see the actual cloud itself is below the price action. Generally, that's favorable, right? But again, as the price goes sideways for longer periods of time, depending on how that works out, we'll be more likely to volatilize. No, sorry. It will be very volatile if the price goes up or down. In other words, when the price squeezes into a range, we'll see it either go up or down with significant strength. Right now, we're building that volume base. It makes more sense for the price to go up. But what I'm getting at here is this is generally a sign that we're losing that momentum. And not to say that the momentum will shift. It's just that when you do that, there is potential for the price to pull back. Okay. So in that sense, if that is the case, we can kind of presume here that the Bitcoin does pull back. There's a couple of different scenarios that could unfold. Right? We could see price action hit this 0.618 fib level again, and that could be a good thing, right? Or it could be the beginning of a head and shoulders. So, it's a little premature, of course, to presume, but generally speaking, 0.618 would be a good level to get in if the price does end up pulling back. To me personally, I really would like to get in at about 64,700. That would be an appropriate level for me to get in, but we don't know if that's going to happen yet. So anyways, what are your thoughts? What do you think is going to happen? Do you think it's going to continue further down, or is it going to continue to blast off? I think most of our contributing factors give us a lot of support in the 65 to 66,000 range. In addition, we got a lot of volume between 66 and 67. So a lot of reasons why I think we're more likely to go up than down, but that's just me personally. I hope that you learned something here today. Thanks again so much for watching all the way through. If you did, you fast forward to the end, whatever. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow if you haven't yet already. And I hope you have a good rest of your day and a wonderful weekend. We'll see you again soon. Take care. Thank you.